When things get Twitch specific enough that you just have to go on Twitch and pull a train wrecks in the wee hours of the morning, 3:49 a.m. at Jay's Geek House, as I go live to talk about the next chapter in Twitch DMCAmageddon in advance of any Friday live at 5 discussions, because so much stuff is happening all at once. Plus, I want to have this discussion knock that discussion from yesterday about internet safety out of the #1 parking spot on the Twitch channel. One thing that Twitch is good at is when you go to your channel, when you go to someone's channel, you get a replay of their last stream, and you also, and sometimes it automatically starts too. But another issue, another thing that Twitch is really good at, there are some things that Twitch is good at, believe it or not, but another thing that Twitch is good at here is binge watching individual creators. So over on YouTube, you can set YouTube to autoplay, but it'll bounce around to different creators based on what the algorithm thinks you like. On Twitch, it's a lot simpler. If you choose to watch somebody, the system respects your decision. When the video's over, it will auto-cue something else from the video section. I don't know how well it works, the system works in terms of sending you all around someone's back catalog. The last time I tried to binge watch somebody's Twitch clips after the fact, I kept getting bounced between the same 2 or 3 clips over and over again. So, anyways, Twitch DMCAmageddon, the story continues as another wave of strikes has gone out and more people have gotten some bans and things like that. But I really think Twitch is scrambling. Let's see, did I close that program out? Yes, I did. Okay, I'm looking at my taskbar here. So, here's the thing. I did some experiments last night over on YouTube with cameras and found out that this Logitech webcam is actually really good compared to running my camcorders through a dongle or even my Elgato box. So I'm actually curious about a 60 FPS webcam because I don't like the webcam-y look of this. I mean, it looks like a lousy Zoom meeting. I want to see if I can get some smoother FPS without going to 60. I want to broadcast in 30, but I don't want it to look as much like a webcam. I think it's mostly the shutter speed or whatnot that makes webcams look like what they are. But I'm tossing around the idea of trying out one of Logitech's competitors, which is selling very well on Amazon right now. The company actually manufactures PC parts, and they expanded into webcams because there's so much price gouging and stuff going on. Anybody who can actually offer webcams at not ridiculous prices has some market share they could gain if people give them a chance. And I intend on giving them a chance. I'll be picking one up, and when we swing back towards the tech side of things, we will take a look at that. All right, let's talk about Twitch DMCAmageddon here in the middle of the night. So we had some strikes go out and some bans go out. Saw that here and things like that. Looking at something on GameSpot, which is why I've been lit up big time right now. GameSpot, you need a dark mode to match the rest of the internet here in 2020. Well, it justifies the sunglasses at least. I might as well be wearing sunglasses with how absurdly bright this is. So, see, Jake and Bake, where is that? All right, that's not it. Let's get OBS over on screen 2, and let's get some browsers going here. Hey, Fusely's VOD's channel. We'll get to that very, very shortly. So I'm looking at Twitch here. I'm looking at Twitter here, actually. So with some of what I'm seeing with the way Twitch streamers are talking about this platform. Now, there are people out there that say that the whole YouTuber versus Twitch streamer thing is a fabricated conflict that people who want to start drama thought up in order to be able to clout chase or make content based on something that they fabricated. That there is no fabrication here. Twitch people can be among some of the most belligerent people you deal with in the world of online media. I have about had enough of all these streamers out there that are pretending that nothing else exists besides Twitch. Had a little discussion on a Discord earlier tonight from one of these people who thinks that Twitch can't get any better. The rights holders will never agree to something like a blocking system. They'll never agree to something like a tracking system or a monetization redirect system or any of this stuff that YouTube already has. Despite the fact that it's already a thing on YouTube. And not only is it a thing on YouTube already, but copyright strikes are more of a thing that people abuse nowadays rather than something you'll get from a large company, because there are alternatives. And I've been thinking about, and I get it probably when I return to YouTube, I have to actually make some graphics to illustrate this a little better. But I think that if you think about the RIAA, their chief complaint about Twitch is that Twitch is not properly policing their platform for copyright infringement. I think some of that might be inspired by, if you keep an eye on what's going on with YouTube and Facebook, if you look at the experience of streaming on those two platforms, you will hear content creators complaining that their streams are getting pulled down. That only happens on a platform where a system like that has been rolled out. I don't need the fan. That only happens on a platform where the system has been rolled out to have an alternative to strikes. So I was going over what happened on YouTube, what happens on YouTube when you have a content match for third-party content or copyright stuff. The system will warn you to fix the issue with your stream, and if you don't fix it, a placeholder image will replace your stream, and your stream may be terminated. So that probably gets referred to by people streaming on these other platforms as, my stream got pulled down. So that probably is how that works. But streams getting pulled down requires a more robust system than what Twitch has. I mean, you get DMCA'd live, and that'll get you suspended from the platform. That'll take your stream down. But a system where an automated system tells you you're matching third-party content, stop playing the content, and you have a certain amount of time to stop playing it before your stream goes down. That's not something I hear about when it comes to Twitch. I really have to wonder, though, about some of these Twitch streamers that don't want to acknowledge that the other platforms even exist, much less that they have better ideas than what Twitch currently has. I'm really starting to wonder if I'm being too nice by calling it the Twitch Bowl effect. Twitch fishbowling people who are pretending that Twitch is all that exists. I'm starting to think that maybe Stockholm Syndrome might be something I have to start talking about here. How do you say all these nights, oh, Twitch is my home, da, 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 when the platform struggles as much as it does in so many areas? The lowest audience ratio of watch hours versus streamed hours in the industry by over 100 points. DMCA nonsense. Lack of key features that people want in order to avoid DMCA nonsense. And lastly, how about that peacock move, that managerial peacock move, advertising the living daylights out of GlitchCon for TwitchCon this year, instead of talking about steps being taken to deal with DMCA? Let's have this big diversion instead with a virtual TwitchCon. Look, I'm going to spoil it for Twitch's brass. Just like what happened with Blitzchung and BlizzCon 2018, and you don't have, or whatever it was. Was it 2018, 2019? The Blitzchung BlizzCon. Blizzard couldn't get away. Might have been 2019. I'm getting my years mixed up. They start to blend together when you get old. But if anybody remembers the Blitzchung BlizzCon, Blizzard couldn't host BlizzCon without people protesting the way Blizzard handled the situation with the Hong Kong tournament for Hearthstone. If there's a hot issue like mishandling DMCA and peacock moves like golden kappas and stuff like that going into this virtual conference, Twitch had better not plan on having any Q&A whatsoever, because it's gonna take a lot of parliamentarian type stuff in order to keep the discussion from instantly shifting over and constantly shifting over to the situation with DMCA. It's something that I'm sure the brass, just like what happened with What's-His-Face at Blizzard, giving that speech about what happened with Blitzchung. Totally going to need the cold ones tonight. It's going to be just like that. You have a hot issue and a hot button issue before your official conference. That hot button issue dominates the conference, unless you come up with an action plan to make sure it doesn't. It happened with Blizzard and BlizzCon with Blitzchung, And it's going to happen with Twitch and DMCAmageddon. Enough's enough already. I just don't understand these Twitch streamers, though. They are so naive. If they did a little bit of comparing the platforms to each other, Twitch would have to get better because people would see just how YouTube does some things better, Facebook does some things better, and Twitch is the technological runt of the platforms. Some of that, by the way, is part of what drives the RIAA's chief complaint that Twitch doesn't police for copyright infringement enough because the other platforms are places where your stream gets pulled down. Could be by automated systems, too. And that really speaks to the crudeness of strikes only, which is why I've been talking about it so much, regardless of whether anyone wants to listen or not. I keep talking about strikes only because it is so important that we emphasize the lack of development of alternatives for rights holders versus the other platforms, to the point where Twitch is the most primitive of the big three. I've gone over this so many times since we last talked about this that I pretty much have it memorized right now. In addition to strikes on YouTube, the 4 options available for rights holders: block, mute, monetize, and track. How does Twitch move forward to not being strikes only? I think the easiest system would be a block system. So, yeah, they licensed out Audible Magic for muting VODs. But what they do is they beef that up and they make a blocking system so that content creator or rights holders can submit their content similar to YouTube Content ID, but if there's a match, the stream goes down, VOD is blocked. And maybe, you can use the robust export feature to export it to YouTube, where there are more robust systems. I often wonder about the robust nature of Twitch's export feature. It's very, very user-friendly, very easy to use. And it almost makes me wonder if that's kind of a bashful bow to YouTube in terms of technology versus Twitch. I wonder about that. Why, as a streaming platform, a rival to YouTube in some ways, would you want to have something that makes it near effortless to cloud export straight to YouTube and fill up a YouTube channel with stream highlights? Or VODs even, as is happening with creators like Fuslie. Let me actually just put it on the screen, Firefox. There you go. Fuslie VODs. She has 2 copyrights. I cannot understand anything that Fuslie does. I've tried watching her streams. I keep scratching my head. What I don't understand is pretty much anything about her. Why would you sign an exclusivity agreement with Twitch with 2 copyright strikes on a more primitive system where the strikes don't have a work-off period? Especially when there's also the ban streamer policy, where if you get banned from Twitch, now streamers have to persona non grata you, even if you become a streamer on YouTube or something. So, I don't understand. I was posting on Twitter earlier. I said, look, if you get 2 copyright strikes on Twitch, blank your channel and leave Twitch until Twitch decides to fix this policy. Go to YouTube, become a streamer there. Tell your audience, I'm streaming on YouTube now. Or, talk to your lawyer if there's an exclusivity contract, which, again, Twitch stands alone with their stuffiness with exclusivity. There can be exclusivity contracts with Facebook and YouTube, but it's more of a special thing. There isn't something like the affiliate agreement with becoming a partner on YouTube, and I've checked. So it's almost like you don't want to hold on to outdated ways of doing business, like forcing people to be locked down to a specific platform when all these platforms are growing and improving and doing things better than each other. So, but that's a totally different discussion. The interesting thing I find about there's ups and downs to these VOD channels, like what Fuslie's doing here. So, the thing with the VOD channels that are now popping up all over YouTube as paranoid streamers are sending their VODs off platform is that this is basically Twitch streamers' introduction to YouTube's more robust copyright system. Okay, your VODs have copyrighted music. Okay, they get flagged. They get flagged on YouTube. Ad revenue gets redirected. If you don't want the ad revenue to get redirected on YouTube from people watching your VODs, what kind of views is she getting recently? $2,000 in subs to her VOD channel, and yeah, less than 1,000 views within a decent amount of time. No, that's just it's the thing. That's the thing. VODs just don't translate. VODs are basically footage. It's like if you went to make a YouTube video and you never actually edited anything and you just sent the footage up to YouTube as is, that would never fly with people. People want to see you put something together, not just, play the B-roll or the A-roll or something like that. So, but here's the thing. So somebody like Fuslie goes and puts her VODs on YouTube. They get flagged for copyright. She can take a look at the more robust options that YouTube offers versus Twitch with strikes only. And rights holders, they can, say, oh, okay, I want the ad revenue. But YouTube is working on technology to degrade the audio until the song is no longer high enough quality to trigger the system. So you could just say, it will sound like the stream was lagging out at one point, but you could do that and people can still understand what you're saying. It's just the bit rate is lower. But the song isn't as recognizable and the system stops picking it up. So you could actually reclaim your monetization by getting the claims release via using the scrubber tool to edit out what gets flagged in the system. So it may sound like it may sound like the stream was lagging at some points, but the point is YouTube has these options. Twitch doesn't. You can't even private a VOD on Twitch, as people have very rightly complained about. So what I look forward to with some of these streamers that are doing this is I'm very much looking forward to them being introduced to the more robust nature of YouTube's technology versus Twitch. And then they can see for themselves just what the issue, just what people like me are talking about. That, yeah, Twitch has some serious work to do if they want to catch their platform up. And to have them investing their technology development into attacking ad blockers, totally separate discussion for the possible ad block apocalypse that Twitch could have. Maybe we'll do that one on Friday. But to see them doing golden kappas, GlitchCon, and investing in technology to snub people that are running ad blockers, where's the priorities with this organization when you've got so many paranoid creators who are sending content off the platform onto YouTube where YouTube's technology can play with it, like all these VOD channels? So, very interesting. The thing I'm concerned about with Fuslie, though, is she's going to all of this trouble, and yet she still has a video section on her Twitch channel. Clips are still showing up. VODs are still here until she gets around to deleting them. Why would you still have both of them? Why wouldn't you, once you confirm it's on YouTube, delete it? Just blank the channel. Isn't that what the de facto YouTubers were doing? They're live on Twitch and literally everything else is on YouTube. Clips especially is what I'm concerned about. Yeah. Oh, let's change browsers here. I want to show you folks what I'm concerned about. We're done with the Fuslie stuff here. Except for the DMCAs that she received back in June. So previously, I went and looked at the stuff that Fuslie talked about. Sources. I went and looked at that stuff that Fuslie received in June with the last wave of these things. Here we go. And I've confirmed, yes, literally every single DMCA notice that these people are sharing on Twitter is referencing the clip system. This is Fuslie strike number 1, clips.twitch.tv. Fuslie strike number 2 with Ariana Grande, clips.twitch.tv. Jake and Bake, clips.twitch.tv. And this one from Clicks with the most recent wave, clips.twitch.tv. What's the pattern? RIAA, 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 clips, 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 clips. How much more does this need to continue? How much longer does this need to continue? Continue before people want to start acknowledging the clip system is what the RIAA is targeting, because it's a great use of the resources for the automated system they want to develop to issue DMCAs and automate that process. We'll get to that in a bit, though. So, there is something, though, I want to mention. If you look at the language of, and I've got links to these over on Twitter. If you look at the language from June to now, so Fusely, let's see here. If this is your third this is from June, right? If this is your third copyright strike, your account is now terminated. Additionally, circumventing penalties, blah, blah, well, that's in the other one as well. If this is your third copyright strike, your account is now terminated. This is from June. Fast forward to Jake and Bake during the last wave. Look at how the language has changed. I wonder if people are scrambling at Twitch to not lose creators because the RIAA is going on this warpath with them. Based on the number of copyright strikes associated with your channel, we may choose to terminate your account if we receive further notifications of claimed infringement. The language has changed. The attitude has changed. I think Twitch is having to come face to face with just what position they're in and how it has gotten so much like walking on thin ice to have any decent creators left on the platform with what they have right now, especially when they're lacking so many features that are standard fare on a site like on a platform like YouTube. Back to June. If this is your third copyright strike, your account is now terminated. If this is your third copyright strike, your account is now terminated. Based on the number of copyright strikes associated with your channel, we may choose to terminate your account. I think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes, and Twitch is trying to do something about this because it's terrible for the platform. If they continue the way they are, this is terrible for the platform, especially when competition was heating up with Google and with YouTube and Facebook, even without any of this happening. Look at some tweets related to DMCA. Saw the Zach Bussy one. Someone else deleting clips and VODs. Da-da-da. Here's another one from Jake and Bake, November 2nd. Crazy to think that clips like this, he's getting his hair done somewhere and something's probably playing over the PA. Crazy to think that clips like this can literally end my career and livelihood due to the outdated and ridiculous DMCA laws. All because of an Avicii song playing from the mall speakers in the background. IRL streaming will be dead unless there is change or more tools to protect us. Oh, you mean like what YouTube has? Twitch Bowl Effect, ladies and gentlemen. Twitch Bowl Effect +1. This is only a problem on Twitch. Like we've gone over, copyright matches on live streams on YouTube trigger an automated system that tells you, stop it. If you don't, your stream goes down. People talk about streams getting pulled down everywhere except in Purple Land. This is what I'm talking about with the Twitch Bowl Effect. It's just there's so many of these people out there that are acting like Twitch is all there is, when in reality, once you learn about other platforms and how they handle the same issues, you wake up from the Matrix. This Jake and Bake guy, how old is he? I'm betting mid to late 20s, right? Twitter, the IRL streamer. I can't get age of this guy. Looks young. Age 30. Jake and Bake Live, Biofacts, Family, Famous Birthdays.com. 1990, 30. Yes, younger millennial. There you go. 30. 1990. Born in 1990. So not that golden year of 1992. Younger millennial. How'd I guess? I'm telling you, it's a generation gap. Older millennials with experience on YouTube are 30-somethings beyond, just hitting 30 this year or whatever. Yeah, July. Just turned 30. And younger millennials are huge on live streaming. Mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s at the most. Born in the 90s instead of the 80s. And Twitch is their YouTube. They act like Twitch is all there is. I'm serious. I'm telling you, it's a generation gap within the millennials. Gen Z, we'll figure that out later. Once more of them get a couple of years under their belts after getting out of college. But yeah. DMCA, baby. That's the Jake and Bake thing. We looked at that. I actually scrolled down throughout this Twitter thing on DMCA. Let's see. How about copyright strike? We look for that. I'm looking for examples of hiatus from uploading videos to the YouTube channel. Now we're getting YouTube stuff in here. Most of the time, when I run into copyright strikes, it's somebody abusing the system as opposed to, a big company or something. And I think there's a reason for that. People know the DMCA gets abused, and so the DMCA is a source of bad, what's called goodwill. It hurts your reputation as a business. But there's something else we got to talk about. Suppose, okay, let's dial things back a bit. So, on Twitch, with the RIAA, they want to assert their rights. They issue strikes and takedowns. The 4 options on YouTube, again, track, monetize, mute, and block for copyrighted music in YouTube videos. 4 options with Content ID. And of course, the alternative monetization redirects ad revenue to the record company. So they get something from that. Otherwise, they can rig things up so that things get muted or blocked. I've seen more than a few YouTube videos, particularly in the earlier years of Content ID, where I think Warner Music in particular, is it WMG? That's what, Warner Music? Or is that Warner Media these days? WMG. The Warner Music Group. Okay, we'll go with that. Thought it'd be Warner Media or something. Is there actually a company called Warner Media? Warner Media United States, multinational entertainment conglomerate owned by AT&T and headquartered in New York City. New York City. We'll go with WMG for Warner Music Group, because a lot of what caused this stuff was music. But you would see in YouTube videos, this video contains content from Warner Music Group, audio has been muted, or who has blocked it in your country on copyright grounds. That's the block system. And as we looked at last go-round, we showed a video, or an email actually, that someone posted on Reddit, I believe. Yeah, it was Reddit. We showed an email on Reddit of someone getting a block notification from YouTube that said explicitly this is not a copyright strike. YouTube used to have it to where if a certain block was on your videos, that it would actually be similar to a copyright strike. But actually, I think that's kind of been dialed back a bit, because there's more tools available to creators now. You can use the scrubber tool, the audio replacement tool. There's all kinds of options that creators have if content matches in Content ID, and there's all kinds of options that rights holders have, which don't exist on Twitch. So let's suppose Twitch wanted to catch up. I think the best thing they could do is make a block system. If it matches, it gets blocked. The stream goes down, the VOD gets blocked. But you can still export it to YouTube and use YouTube's more robust features to address the issue. Considering all these folks are probably making very big use of the export feature to send all their stuff over to YouTube. Yeah. So I'm looking at stuff for copyright strikes. Maybe I should look up Twitch copyright strikes on Twitter. See how strong their search engine is. Oh, no, I'm seeing my own tweets. Where can I see if I got a copyright strike on Twitch? Hey, we gave you a copy of 1/3 away to possibly any of your Twitch career. It's very important for you to look at this clip. Just got a copyright strike on Twitch for a clip from 2017. Clips! October 29th. This BS makes no sense at all. Twitch hit me like with a copyright strike for a video back in July of last year, so I delete all my VODs except for 2. So many beautiful memories gone. Already got hit with that copyright strike on Twitch. You're playing a live stream from Twitch from now on. Yes. Twitch won't stop a live mid-stream like YouTube. Yeah, not for long. Additionally, VODs will not stay long on Twitch to avoid a copyright strike. DMCA for muting. Yeah, see, people are like, oh, the muting system, that was enough. No, it wasn't. It was after the fact. What the RIAA is concerned about is licensing, royalties, and other assorted ways they make money off of like radio stations and stuff who have licenses to broadcast music. So that's the issue here. Either pay up or stop the content. And I think that lacking the kind of monetization redirect as well as the inherent issues with Twitch's advertising system, as in streamers aren't running enough ads to make the ad revenue really scale. So if there's an ad revenue redirect off of Twitch to a record company, it's not as interesting to the RIAA because the dollars are going to be lower. Yeah, that's something we got to think about with this. So I think the best sure thing for Twitch is a block system. Long as creators can send stuff over to YouTube after the fact. So if something gets blocked on Twitch, send the VOD over to YouTube. YouTube has more options for creators. They can remove the song, do this, that, or the other, you know, or music swap, or you actually use the cloud editor to edit out where the song is if they really want to. But creators have options on YouTube that they do not have on Twitch. All there is on Twitch is workarounds and people being tenacious and then turning around saying, well, Twitch is still my home, even though I have to send everything over to YouTube to not get a DMCA. Right. Delete over 5,000 clips, etc. See here. All right. Well, here's what. Oh, wait. We have something. Twitch really said, hey, even though this is from 2016, we have another letter. Let's load this up. Let me see this. Twitch. Oh, finally. Somebody, we're not going to show it. We're not going to show it on screen. Not a high-profile creator who went. But then again, they did share it publicly. Finally. It took about 5 or 6 of these. Twitch.tv/videos, So this is a copyright strike from a VOD. Boom. Finally, after clips, I finally I'm looking at a Twitch DMCA takedown. We'll retweet this on Twitter. Finally, a VOD. It's not saying clips.twitch.tv. Finally. The issue was a Lady Gaga song. This goes to Twitter. After clips, it's different to see the non-clip URL on Twitch in one of these. Finally. I was wondering when we were going to see that. Boom. Retweeted. So Twitch copyright strike is giving me better results. Last I received a copyright strike from Twitch for a clip made on my channel over a year ago when I was an unpartnered 10-viewer Andy. Clips. If you're looking for a sign to delete all your VODs and clips, this is it. Copyright strike. And people say Twitch should get a copyright bot like YouTube. YouTube system at least covers the creator in some other way, and most of the time they give a straight up copyright strike against their channel. That is way more than can be said for Twitch. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Looking at Twitter, and we're doing reactions to Twitter here. Here's the thing, and this is the reason why. First of all, there's a goodwill penalty for issuing lots of DMCAs, because it's like during the Metallica fiasco at Napster in the 2000s. People, oh, look, Metallica's suing their fans. People were saying all that kind of stuff. But think about it this way. The RIAA doing things the standard way would have to be the one to issue the DMCA takedown that gives someone a copyright strike. The automated systems they're developing still are something that on the RIAA's initiative, people are getting DMCA'd, and it's a workaround for Twitch not having alternatives for strikes. Now, over on YouTube, or let's suppose Twitch pulls a YouTube and they make a system that offers alternatives to striking all the time. Think about it this way. in terms of who to be angry at, if the RIAA is issuing DMCA takedowns against numerous creators, you know the RIAA is the reason why it's happening. You can be angry at the RIAA. Now, if they feed all of their copyrighted works into a system similar to YouTube Content ID and a blocking system is rolled out on Twitch, so it gets matched up, the stream gets blocked. If that becomes a thing, now, if you're angry at the RIAA, their spokesfolks can say, look, it's Twitch's system. If it doesn't work very well, take it up with Twitch. So you see the business reason why companies would want to do something besides issue strikes all the time? It deflects some of the anger and potential damage to their goodwill and their reputation over to the platform. See, the minute there is an alternative to copyright strikes on Twitch, the discussion no longer has to be about what the RIAA is doing. The discussion is about how well Twitch's system works. The focus moves away from the RIAA to Twitch, because who is the subject of the verbs? Who's the one making everything happen? Twitch's system, not the RIAA sending waves of strikes. The way something like Content ID blocking works, copyright owners and rights holders will upload their equipment, their stuff into the system. The system takes it from there. When you get blocked on YouTube and you have the option to appeal, that's the system. It's not the rights holder. And the rights holder gets to say, oh, it's YouTube's system. Don't look at me. YouTube has to make that better. Or they can be nice and retract the claim or something. But theoretically, any business that you put on the spot because of getting blocked under Content ID or something, well, it's YouTube's systems. We don't own that. We're not responsible for that. And it's a legitimate deflection. You don't have that with DMCA. You have to be the one issuing the takedowns. The takedowns have to be legitimate. The trail stops with you if you're DMCAing people. But if you're using a block system, you can now conveniently finger point the platform and put all the focus on the platform instead of on you. You just did what rights holders have the option of doing. See what I mean? And this is why Twitch needs to do something ASAP. The easiest of the four options, and probably the most effective, would be a blocking system. I don't think a monetization redirect similar to Content ID on YouTube is something that Twitch would be very good at right now. But if they rolled out a blocking system, I think we'd start seeing rights holders blocking content on Twitch and taking streams down, instead of getting people mad at them for issuing DMCAs or building an automated system to automate DMCAs as a workaround to Twitch not having alternatives. Very, very serious here. What's that noise? Ooh, the furnace has been running while I've been doing all of this. Somebody has a petition to have Twitch roll out a work-off period to copyright strikes. YouTube effed up with absurd copyright strikes for years, and Twitch could have learned a few lessons from them to avoid making the same mistakes, but I guess expecting even the bare minimum from these companies is too much. Yeah. Yep. I think I've seen enough of this, and I think we know at this point. We'll get to work at some graphics later, but it's about 4:30-ish. It's about 4:30-ish at Jay's Geek House, and let's just call it with all of this right here. So, it'll be interesting to see where all of this goes from here, but at least now we've finally seen something besides clips. One example out of a bunch we've seen so far, but still an example. So it doesn't always have to be the clips. I think clips is the most convenient way to scan this stuff if the RIAA has a system. And I think that's probably what their focus would be. But yeah, in order to move forward from this, the best move for Twitch is to roll out a blocking system and then let people send stuff over to YouTube and use YouTube's more robust tools to deal with the problem over on YouTube instead. So It'll be interesting also to see how Twitch streamers handle the new world they're being introduced to with their VOD channels and the more robust copyright systems on YouTube. But here's to hoping the Twitch Bowl effect with some of these streamers will get shattered, and this will be the catalyst to doing that. People need to have a better perspective on things sometimes. People need to have a better perspective on things. Ooh, I got a message. It's an old thing from last month, whatever. People need to learn how to get a better perspective on things. Then they won't be saying the same naive, stupid things over and over again. Oh, Twitch ticked me off so much, but Twitch is still my home. Social media is youtube.com/MultimediaJay, twitter.com/MultimediaJay, twitch.tv/MultimediaJay, multimediajay.wordpress.com, and instagram.com/MultimediaJayTV. I will continue keeping an eye on this, but I have lots of other things to work on as well, videos and streams on both platforms. Let's get back to that. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay. MultimediaJay? Yeah, I've been up to it. I'm daylight savings. I'm getting tired earlier because of the time change. So let's do something with that and go to bed earlier and get up earlier and enjoy some daylight hours for a change. Whatever. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.